morning and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another challenge, implementing some new habits and changes into my life until I feel like the person I want to be. Let me explain. So if you've been following along for any length of time, you know that my life looks radically different now than it did like a year and a half ago. These changes happened very rapidly, and while they're all very exciting, it was definitely an experience where I was like basically holding on to the back of a speeding bus and just trying to like check all the boxes and survive. And that's no way to live. That's no way to live. And I'm essentially in a season right now where like I'm living my dream. Like the internet gave me my dream on a silver platter, and I want to intentionally enjoy that, but I also really want to allow myself the opportunity to embody that person. And I'm not really sure if this is going to make sense to everybody, but I'm going to do my damnedest. I'm going to try real hard to put this in terms that articulate this point the best I can. For the last year and a half, I have felt like the old version of myself in a new life. And because I haven't really ever given myself the chance to really adjust internally to the changes in my environment, I've essentially brought like really old limiting beliefs and expectations into this new realm. And I honestly think that's a big part of what's keeping me stuck and feeling like I just don't feel like my insides match my outsides. If that makes sense. And I've been doing a lot of like research and work on like neuroplasticity and the body and mind's ability to kind of like get in alignment with all that is in existence in the world. And I'm not even really talking about like the woo-woo stuff. I'm more just talking about like the brain self-care and work and exercise like we do with our bodies. However, this is not about that. This video is not necessarily about that. It's just one element of the things that I'm trying to implement into my life to help me embody and become the person that feels like they deserve this. Because this is really cool and I'm very excited to be here. But I've been struggling internally for like the last year and a half, and that seems silly because this is the best thing that's ever happened to me as far as my career is concerned, and I want to be able to enjoy it. So this morning, I decided that I was going to take heed the advice that nothing changes if nothing changes. And so I have been very routine in my life, as you guys know, and I'm switching it up. I switched up my routine this morning. So instead of waking up and not passing go, not collecting $200, going straight for the coffee pot, I decided to start my day with a cup of water. I know, revolutionary, but research shows that that's important. And I don't really know why it's important quite yet, but it's supposedly important, and I figured it couldn't hurt. So instead of having my cup of coffee first thing, I had a glass of water, and I've been kind of researching a bunch of different like science-backed morning routines, and many of them say that you should start with meditation and gratitude. And so the very first thing I did after having my cup of coffee, see, that's habit, that's routine, that's ritual. Oh gosh, the first thing I did after having my cup of water was I tried a new meditation practice. So I am a big fan of the Silva method, and I typically go between like either the alpha session or the theta session, and that's been my go-to meditation for the last year. And I was really like good about practicing meditation very regularly for a very long time, and then I just kind of got out of the habit of it. So this morning I tried a new one, which was shared with me by Dustin, who I was on the podcast with last week, and it was I think it's called Inner Power. And that was neat. It was unique because it had you write down like the goal that you most want to accomplish, and then the 3 things you'll feel if you were to have accomplished that goal, and then 3 things that you'll do differently in your life once you have this goal accomplished. Like once you've attained this reality, what are 3 things that you'll do differently, and then you meditate on that and you like do your best to like embody those feelings, because apparently like our bodies get addicted to the like feelings that we practice most often. And I know as an anxious girly that like I'm most addicted to feeling like nervous and anxious and just sort of like on edge and in survival. And so that meditation was really cool. I'm gonna have my cup of coffee while I do my gratitude. And then for the rest of the day, not really mindset wise, but more just like taking care of Joey and getting myself in a place where I can have a very good week ahead. I am going to do all the self-care things that I don't often allow myself the time to do, and I feel like right now is the best time to do it because I'm about to lose my husband into the black hole of football. And so I figured while I still have him on a weekend, let's take some time for ourselves. And so we're gonna do some self-care, and hopefully by the end of this day, I'll feel a little bit more prepared to show up in the world as the person I want to be, instead of dragging this like old self into this new life with me. Cheers. A change that I implemented a while ago, but am still really loving. There are 2 things that I've been like hyper focused on improving for probably for like the last 6 months, and that is my hair and my skin. Postpartum for both has been interesting to navigate. And yes, my son is 2.5 years old and I'm still trying to figure it out because my hair changed so much and my skin changed so much through my pregnancy and then after my pregnancy. And my postpartum hair loss was insane. And I used to have extremely thick hair. I do not anymore, and it's bothersome to me, but it's a part of getting older. It's okay. But something I've been doing very consistently is every hair wash, I oil my hair and I just put it in at the scalps. The jojoba oil I do put like through the lengths of my hair. And then something I started doing by accident and realized like, oh wait, hold on, this actually works, is I was trying to do like one of those slicked back ponytails. It was not a good look on me, but I was trying to do one of those and I don't have like the stuff you're supposed to use. And I was like, oh, I have this. I'll just put this deep conditioner in my scalp and like use that to slick my hair back. And my hair, when I went to go wash it the next day, was like transformed from having left this in my hair for a few hours. And so I oil my hair and add this in. While I'm doing this and letting this sit in my hair, I'm also going to put on what looks disturbing is this mask. And I've talked about this mask very briefly in a cleaning video, so not a relevant video. It's honey, nutmeg, and cinnamon. They all have antimicrobial properties, antibacterial properties, and the honey is extremely moisturizing. And I used to do this mask all the time back in like 2013. My friends and I called it the Mary mask because it's so good you'll want to marry it. And it really works to like get rid of these dark, I don't know if you can see, like these dark spots on your skin. I had 2 like gnarly cystic breakouts. Again, the postpartum skin is tricky to navigate. And it's been working to kind of get rid of those spots on my skin. I know vitamin E is also good for that. And I do have bio oil also. I forgot that I had this, and so I'm only just now starting to use that in my evening routine. But I'm gonna oil my hair and do my little face mask. Shockingly, my child is still asleep. I feel like it's, I don't know what time, it's not a clock in here, but it's like nearing 8 o'clock. He was calling out a little bit, but he does this thing where he like calls out and then he like gets his blanket and his cat and he like lays back down, and then he calls out and then he gets his blanket and his cat and he lies back down. So I'm gonna do this quickly so I'm gonna get him. like to do is make these little, like, I don't know what to even call them. They were inspired by like loaded teas. If you have any of those, like, I don't know what they're called, like those nutrition, I don't even know. I think it's Herbal Life. Is that it? If you have any of those near you, they have those like teas that are super loaded. And I used to make those at home a lot and love them, still love them. They're very expensive. Right now, when everything is a gazillion dollars, it's just not really in the cards. And so, oh, there is a scoop in here, excellent. I have usually made these little like cocktails, mocktails, I don't know, with Crystal Light raspberry tea. And then my little calm stuff. This has like magnesium in it, along with like a bajillion other things that are supposed to be good for you and help like manage anxiety, etc. Which then I pair with one of the 4C with taurine, which has a lot of caffeine in it. So I'm pretty sure it cancels out this, but that's okay. And then something new that I'm gonna add to it is this multi-collagen burn, which is supposed to kind of do a few things. One, it's supposed to help with the cellulite, which I have not terribly, but since having my son, like I said, my skin has changed and I want to add this in and see how it does. But it's also supposed to help with like metabolism boosting, which that's another thing that I've noticed since, I was gonna say like since my kid, but honestly it's been since about, I'd say maybe when I was like 33 is when I started to notice that despite the fact that my eating habits hadn't changed, I was starting to gain weight in a way that I never had before. And not like, I'm not saying anything about weight gain. I'm just saying that like I noticed the change in my body and I have to work a little harder to stay at a baseline than I ever used to have to. And so I'm gonna add this into, basically, I'll just show you what I'm doing. Also, am I still on the shirt that I slept in? That is definitely my husband's that I stole when I was pregnant. Yes, because it is Saturday morning. It is 8:50. The boys have gone to go get donuts and I have a little bit of time to myself. So the self-care continues. So what I do is I just heat it up a little bit of water. I'm gonna give about 2 teaspoons of the Calm in there and let that do its thing. And this says 1 scoop. So we'll let, this is my first time using the collagen burn, so I don't really have an opinion on it yet, but I will definitely include it in these little cocktails for the next few weeks. And at some point I'll give you my thoughts on it if I see any change. The Calm stuff like foams up, and so I just wait for that to like be done foaming. Let me get some ice. Okay, so the Calm is in there. I'm gonna add 1 scoop of the collagen burn. So the Calm is flavored as raspberry lemon, and then I have the like unflavored collagen burn. And I'm gonna use my little like frother to help mix that together. And then the 4C that I'm gonna use today is the berry flavor. And then this will also fizz up a little bit. And I'm just mixing all of this into warm water because it dissolves easier in warm water, but it makes such like a pretty blue color. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that, but I think everything is good and mixed up. And then I just have my little mason jar, pour this in. So it's like this like pretty purpley color. And then I add in my Crystal Light. Especially on like a super hot day, which it's already 83 degrees outside and it's 8:52 in the morning. Yeah, that's really good. I decided before I take my shower, I actually want to take Oaken for a walk, but Oaken is crazy. We sent him to what we called summer camp last summer to learn his manners because he was legitimately just out of control and it was very expensive. And he did come back like a distinguished gentleman. However, like with anything, if you don't practice what they've taught, it will get lost. And life has been lifing, and I haven't done my best at practicing those skills with him. And so I would like to take him for another walk. I took him for a walk yesterday and it went well. And so I feel like if I just continue to practice that with him, it will get better. But also I just really enjoy it. And I really, once he like got the picture yesterday morning when I went for a walk, he really did great. And it was such an enjoyable experience. And so I want to go do that before the boys get home. And then I'll take my shower and move on to the rest of the day. The walk was amazing, and I just took a glorious everything shower. Is there really anything that feels better than that? Like, especially after going on a really humid, sweaty walk. Gosh, it was amazing. I also cleaned my shower while doing my everything shower. I'm curious if anybody else does that. Does anybody else do that? Because I only wash my hair like a couple times a week, if that. Like generally it's like once, maybe twice a week. I try to clean my shower on the days that I wash my hair, so I just keep the stuff in the shower. And it just kills lots of birds, one stone. Why are we killing birds? Let's maybe not kill birds, but you know what I mean. Now, my husband and my kiddo are still out, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to give myself a pedicure. I went for my birthday and got a pedicure, which is super rare. I do my nails at home. I've always done my nails at home. I will occasionally go get a pedicure, but it's like maybe once, twice a year. It's not often. I honestly go because I like the massage chairs. I really like the massage chair. And they didn't really do a very good job on the toenail polish this time, which is unfortunate. But I'm great at painting my fingernails. I'm terrible at painting my toenails. I don't know how that's possible. I think it's the angle, but either way, I'm gonna give myself a little toenail makeover. I think I'm gonna use white gel, and yeah, I'm gonna watch my TV show while I do it, and that sounds really nice. Really, really nice. If feet aren't your thing, you should probably look away for the next 10 seconds. But I did a white polish and I did a chrome overlay just because I thought it would be fun. It's the next night. It's the end of the following day, but I didn't want to have this video end without me coming in at the end and kind of giving a little bit of a recap to how spending yesterday made me feel, because I didn't really do too much that was all that different from how I spend my day to day. I usually start my day with some type of routine or ritual. I did change mine up yesterday a little bit, and I actually continued that into today. But you know, going for a walk with the dog, not unusual. Doing my hair and doing a face mask, not unusual. All of these things were not out of the ordinary. What was different, however, was doing them with intention and giving myself the space to do them and allow myself the opportunity to be fully present as I was doing them, put the intention in them that I wanted to use this chance to recharge and rejuvenate and have just a lot of like positive energy associated with the activities, rather than just like crossing things off a to-do list to move on to the next thing that needed to get done. And I went to bed last night feeling so refreshed and recharged and fulfilled and satisfied and content, and that was the point. And what that experiment yesterday has kind of taught me, and what I've already brought into today and what I'm hoping to bring into this week coming up, is to really fully allow myself to be present in the moment that is currently happening, regardless of whatever it is, and to stop always be thinking about what is the next thing I have to get done, which honestly, in the phase of life that I'm currently in, given the many plates I have spinning in the air at any given moment, I am constantly thinking about what's next and how I'm gonna have the space or time to get what's next done before I've even completed what's on the plate sitting right in front of me, for good or for worse. Like, it could be something I really enjoy doing and I'm just like rushing my way through it to get it done so I can move on to the next thing and cross that thing off my to-do list. And that's such a like exhausting way to live. It's such an exhausting way to live. And I've known for a while, like I told you at the beginning of this vlog, I've been doing a lot of research and reading about like neuroplasticity and the way our brain functions and a healthy way to kind of take care of your brain and your mindset and all of that kind of stuff. So I've known for a while, or had the revelation for a while now, that like the only thing that's real is the present moment you're existing in right now. Like right now is the only moment that is real. I'm sitting in this chair talking to you. That is the only thing that is real. Everything else, the past and the future, only live in your imagination. They only live in your imagination. The only time that is real is right now. And allowing right now to kind of get robbed by constantly thinking about the future isn't making right now feel very good. And it's certainly not making me show up in the future any better. And I really want to take this lesson into every single day and to kind of remind myself of the joy of living and existing in this moment and allowing right now to be enough. And like I love my job. I love the work I get to do. I love writing and the fact that I get to do that. I love making these videos. I love being with my son and my husband. I love taking care of my home and having the opportunity and the privilege to take care of my space. There was a period of my life where I longed for that so desperately, living in my mom's house. I just couldn't wait to have my own space again, and certainly a space of my own, a place that I owned, and having the privilege to do those things. And I've always liked cleaning and I just get a really positive feeling when I'm taking care of my space. Love cooking and experimenting with food and taking the opportunity to make meals and share them with my family. I love all of those things, and I feel like I was kind of losing the joy of them by just kind of hustling through everything and taking yesterday with a little bit more intention and a little bit more purpose. I was more productive yesterday than I've been in many, many days. And I still managed to do all of those things that I showed you, taking care of myself. I took a nap yesterday afternoon. I took a nap. I don't nap. I don't often nap. I took a nap. I got to go out to dinner with my husband. I got all of the laundry done. I got all the kitchen stuff done. Like, there are so many things I crossed off my to-do list, but there was no pressure. Like, there was zero pressure to get those things done. I just had the time and the opportunity to do them, and I wasn't coming at it from a place of like every free moment I had, I didn't feel like I had to just sit down and scroll my phone because my brain was so exhausted and my body was so exhausted from just existing and hustling. And man, if that's not a powerful lesson, if that is not the exact lesson I needed yesterday, and if you're feeling kind of similarly where you're just feeling like your brain is tired and empty all at the same time, I'd like to encourage you to sort of slow down a little bit, take your foot off the gas, get super intentional about what you're doing and how you're experiencing what you're doing at any given moment. Allow yourself the opportunity to fill the space of the present moment and be fully there. Just be fully present in the present moment. Don't worry about what's coming. Don't worry what's already happened. Just be present in the current moment. I appreciate you being here, and I love doing this so much, and I'm so thankful that I get to share with you guys and that you're here and you care to see what I have going on, which is just super mind-blowing to me. But I'm so, so grateful for you, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.